business. We're going to talk about when you're dating somebody or you're in a relationship with somebody and your friends are always in your relationship business, okay? Or bringing your friends around your man or bringing your friends around your woman or partner or whatever. I'm going to talk about the influence of friends, all right? Because somebody had asked me to do this podcast and talk about this because a lot of people deal with this. When you're dating somebody, what's the first thing that you do after your dates? You call up your friends, right? You ask your friends, oh, this is what happened. What do you think? Yada, yada, yada. And, your friends, of course, they may hit you up the next morning too because they were like, what happened? How'd it go? And you're filling them in on the date. But here's the thing I want to bring up, you guys. When you're discussing your business with your dating life, or if you're in a relationship with your friends, you have to be very careful of what you tell certain friends, because there's friends and there's friends. There's some friends that really look out for you, and there's some friends that would stab you in the back in a second. So the thing is this. You have to look at your friends. You have to look at their lives. You have to say to yourself, are they happy in their life, or are they a closet miserable person? Okay? Because when you have friends that are very unhappy in their life, they will not tell you certain things, but it may hurt them to see you happy. People get jealous, and you have to watch out for these kind of people because they may steer you in the wrong direction and could cause you to break up with somebody that you could have a good relationship with. You got to remember something. When you're dealing with somebody, all right, what you find attractive or what you will tolerate in a relationship, maybe your friend won't tolerate. And maybe they're going to come back at you and they're going to say something to you like, oh, I wouldn't put up with that. I wouldn't put up with that, okay? Well, good. That's not your relationship. That's my relationship. That's why you have to be very careful in what you tell your friends. It's like when you tell your family something. You got to remember, once you tell your friends or your family something that happened that was very, very bad, they're not going to forget. When you make up with your partner, guess what? Next time you have a party with your friends or you go to a family's house, they're going to look at your partner in a different way because it's not like you forgiving your partner and you have that emotional connection with them. Your friends and family don't have the same connection with your partner that you do. So they're going to grow to hate that person. So you got to keep that in mind when you go to your friends and you tell them something. The other thing is, if you're dating somebody and that person is really, they're checking all the boxes, they seem really great, and you go, for instance, and you tell a girlfriend of yours who's, single and miserable and wishes that she could be in a relationship like that, there's some women that will be happy for you, and there's some women that underneath it all will be hoping that you break up. These are the kind of people you got to be careful about when you have a fight with your partner and they say something like, well, you want me to talk to him? You want me to make the call? I'll talk to him. That is something you should not do, okay, with anybody, all right? If you have a disagreement with your partner, do not bring your friends into it where they are talking one-on-one about your situation or your relationship with your partner for a number of reasons. Because number one, they could say the wrong thing. They could go back to your partner and say something that you told your friend in confidence, and they could either say it knowing that they said it or not realizing that it was something that your partner didn't know you confided in your friend about, okay? That's one reason. And another reason is that if that person secretly has a crush on your partner, now this goes for anybody. It could be a woman talking to her girlfriend, and she has a fight with her man, and her girlfriend says, "Oh, let me talk to him. I'll smooth it over." And then she calls him up, and then the two of them are having a conversation, and she's trying to win him over. Okay? I know people that this has happened to them. Okay? I knew a girl who confided in her girlfriend, had a fight with her man, confided in her girlfriend. Her girlfriend said to her, "I'll talk to him for you." She ended up talking to her boyfriend for her, and she made the situation worse, to the point where her man came back at her and said, "Your girlfriend was bad-mouthing you." You see what I mean? So sometimes you don't realize certain friends could be underhanded. They might be fun to hang out with. You may have a great time. You may have a lot of laughs with them, but they may not be somebody who you could trust in your corner and wants to see you happy. Okay? I have a lot of guy friends that when they're dating a woman, they won't even bring their other guy friends around because they know how these guys are. They know how these guys try to, hit on the girl when he's not around or something like that. That's just the way they are. Now, people say, "Oh, that's not true. We're tight like this." Let me tell you something, okay? Even people that you're tight with, it could happen. That's why I'm saying, whatever you do or you deal with your partner, do not bring outsiders in on it, okay? But trust me when I tell you that. Do not bring outsiders in on it. I knew somebody that trusted in her girlfriend to talk to her man, and she found out 2 years later that her girlfriend was having sexual conversations with her man when she was still in the relationship with him. But she didn't find out till 2 years later when the girlfriend slipped and said, "Oh, yeah, I used to have so many conversations with so-and-so. He wouldn't let me get off the phone. We were talking sexually." So that was somebody that she didn't even realize could be capable of doing something like that. When she was having problems with her boyfriend, she trusted her friend, and her friend totally stabbed her in the back, okay? So you got to be careful of certain people you bring around your partner. The other thing, too, is that, the things that you tell your friends about your partner. Like, I knew girls that would go back to other girlfriends and say how great their man is in the bedroom, how the sex was so fantastic, that I knew girls, just because they heard that from their girlfriend, would hit on the guy, would hit on their girlfriend's man. And that girl had no idea that her friends were capable of that. See, desperate people will do desperate things. And you may not recognize it because you're looking at that person in a different way. You're looking at that person as that's your buddy. That's somebody you talk to. That's somebody you laugh with. That's somebody, you could sit there on the phone and talk about everything and you feel comfortable and everything. But underneath that person, that could be a very unsatisfied person, and that person could cause trouble in your relationships. So, like I said, you break up with somebody, you have a fight with somebody, do not get that third party involved. Do not get them involved, you guys. Believe me when I tell you this. The other thing I want to bring up about the friends is this. If you're somebody who is single and all of a sudden now you're dating somebody and now you have like an exclusive relationship with that person, and now your friends are on your case and they're saying, "Oh, you're always spending your time with him. You never make time for the girls," or anything like that. Your friends have to be understanding of your situation. That's what being a friend is all about. Just because you're not there and you're not hanging out like you used to hang out every weekend going out, you're in a relationship. You're in a different stage of life, or a different, you're moving into something. So you can't be swayed by what these people say. And it goes vice versa too, men to women and partner to partner. You cannot be swayed and feel pressured by your friends. A true friend is going to stick by you no matter what. A true friend is going to be there whether you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship. And that's really, that's really how you see who's really your friend and who's not. Because a good friend is somebody that you don't have to talk to every day, but it's somebody that's always there for you. It's somebody that doesn't judge you. It's somebody who has your back and doesn't talk poorly about you behind your back. I was in a situation one time where I had a girlfriend. I thought she was a close friend. I confided in her about people that I was dating and everything like that. I got her involved in certain situations where, she would talk to guys that I was dating or something like that. And she caused a lot of trouble, and to the point where a lot of these guys, they came back and they said, she's not your friend, she's talking behind your back. And on top of it, we had a situation one time where one of my good friends, he was, at a hotel, he was hanging out and everything like that. And he hit us up on Facebook and he's like, what are you guys doing? Blah, 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 and everything like that. And she's like, oh, well, I'll come down there. Now, this girl knew I was dating him and everything like that. And it got to a point, that's when I started to really see her true colors. And then as soon as we got off there, he hit me up and he's like, what is that? He's like, where did she come off making those comments and everything like that? And other people were telling me this girl is two-faced. This girl is no good. And I got to see that even though she was, a cool friend at certain times, she had another side to her. She was very, very jealous. Okay? She was the kind of person that if she saw I had a lot of guys on my Facebook, she was inboxing these guys to try to become friends with them. It was like a competition. And this is what you get too, you guys. You get friends that are competitive. It's not even so much that they want your man or your woman. It's that it's the chase. They want to see if they can steal them away from you. It's that thrill of stealing your partner away because they're so insecure. They need that ego boost to know they could get somebody and get them from under your nose. Okay? So I want you to be aware of these type of people. Now, another thing that I want to add too, that you need to be aware of, is that if you're dating somebody and let's say you meet that person's friends, right? And that person sends you a request on Facebook. Let's say, for instance, you're a woman and you're dating a guy and you've all hung out, you've all gone out, and his friends, and his friends send you a request on Facebook. We're just going to use that as one social media platform, right? And you add them to your page, your Facebook page, and the guy you're dating gets mad about that. Now, there's a couple of reasons he could get mad. Number one, he could get mad because he doesn't trust his friend, that his friend is going to hit on you. Or the other reason he doesn't want his friends on your page is because his friends are going to tell you things that he's doing that you're not aware of. And this goes the same way, the opposite, okay? Men to women, partner to partner, okay? Whoever you're dealing with. So, they may not want that person. They may not want their friends on your page if, they're either threatened by their friends or they're afraid their friends are going to come back and tell you something like, oh, he's talking to this girl or he's talking to that girl. Like, I knew somebody who was very much like that. He got very upset because his friend sent me a request and I accepted it, and he did not want his friend on my page. He didn't want him on my page because he knew that he was worried he might, start inboxing me and flirting. And he didn't want him on my page because he was also worried that he would come back and tell me things, which he did come back and tell me, which he was right. His friend did inbox me, and his friend did tell me that he was the type of guy that bragged about dating 5 different women at once. Okay? So we're talking about friends and bringing them into relationships and the whole 9 yards. Now, when somebody's really serious about you, like they really like you and they see a future with you, they will bring you around their friends, okay? Most people will bring you around their friends and their family. I always say, if they're not bringing you around their friends or their family, that is a straight up red flag that they don't look at you as anything serious. But if somebody brings you around their friends, they're taking that risk of getting their friends and their family to know you, okay? And if they didn't think that you were worth anything, they would not bring you around them, okay? Because they're not going to want to hear from their friends and family, what happened? Why are you still talking? Oh, did you break up? People don't want to hear that kind of drama, all right? Now, there are people that will bring you around friends and family and may not be serious. There are some people that just don't care. But in general, when somebody does bring you around their friends and family, they feel pretty comfortable with you. And, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Like I said, when they don't bring you around their friends and family, they could be either afraid that somebody will say something to you, like about the other person they're dating or other people they're dating, or they just are very private about their family or their friends, and, they don't want them to know anything. Now, let's talk about when your friends and your partner don't get along, okay? This is a very stressful situation. It's very similar to when your partner doesn't get along with your family. It's not a good scenario, you guys. All right. First of all, if your friends and your partner don't get along, you have to look at why. Why don't they get along? Why are they not getting along? Is your partner closing off to them? Maybe they feel threatened by your friends, that your friends are going to introduce you to someone, that your friends are going to take you out and want to party with you, okay? So that in that case, you got to look at your partner and say, is my partner insecure? Because if you're dealing with a very insecure partner, they're going to feel very threatened by the friends. Now, there's a thing, there's nothing wrong with having friends, but there's some people that their friends become more important than their partner. And this is where you have, the struggle, all right? Because that's when you're in a situation where you have somebody in your life, but your friends are very important to you, and you're out and you want to have a good time and you like hanging out with your friends a lot, and your partner has a problem with that. You have to make a choice. You have to make a choice of what's important to you. Is this person right for you? Because you have to look at your lifestyle. How do you like to live? I said this in the beginning, you guys, when I was talking about, qualities to look for in somebody. There's some people that like to stay home and watch TV every day of the week, and there's some people that like to go out all the time. And if you're, an opposite with somebody else, somebody likes to stay home and you like to go out all the time, you guys are going to have issues there. Unless you can compromise, you're both going to have to compromise. But if you're dealing with somebody that's a prune face, that has a problem every time you want to go out, that's going to be an issue in your relationship. If they can't understand that sometimes you need your space to go out, then that is not the right partner for you. Okay? You have to sit down, you have to communicate to them and explain to them. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up is this. When you get involved in a relationship, okay, and you're supposedly quote unquote exclusive, we're not talking about dating, because when you're dating someone, you basically are just dating them and you don't owe that person anything. All right. You're just dating them. You're getting to know them. But when you're exclusive and you're at a point where you're only dating that person and that person's only dating you, you have to make a choice when it comes to the friends, okay? You have to put this person that you're exclusive with first as your priority. And see, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people they want their cake and eat it too. They want to go out and party and they don't want to answer to anybody, but yet they don't want that other person going and dating anyone else. They want to be exclusive with them, but yet they want their freedom. Okay? Whatever you expect from the other person, you have to provide to them as well. So if you don't want them out partying, you should not be out partying, and vice versa. So this is something, you have to take into consideration. You can't always, once you get into an exclusive relationship, it's not all about you anymore. And this is the problem today, because so many people are self-absorbed. This is why people have a hard time committing to relationships, because they don't want to give up their freedoms. Because it is so easy to date so many different people and have fun. And a lot of people look at relationships as work. And they say, I don't want to have to answer to you. I want to be able to come and go and do what I want. All right? But yet, they're going to have a problem if you take the same attitude. And then the whole relationship breaks down. So they have to understand that, you know what? You can't have your cake and eat it too. You have to pick a side of the fence. You have to say to yourself, you know what? I want to be with you. You're a priority. I don't look at it as losing my freedom, because I'm with you and I'm gaining all the benefits of being with you. Okay? So keep that in mind, because a lot of people struggle with that. And especially, when their friends are egging them on and they're telling them, come out, what, you're not allowed to go. You're in a different stage now. You are in a different stage when you're in an exclusive relationship. I mean, I'm not saying you can't go out with your friends. You could go out with your friends, but you have to have a level of respect for your partner. Because if you don't, the relationship's going to break down, because either your partner will go out and start doing the same thing, or your partner's just going to walk away from you. See, this is another thing too that happens all the time with relationships. One person is treating the other one lousy, and then when the other person starts doing it to them, they get mad. What goes around comes around. You want to be treated with respect. You want that person to give you the same level of, commitment. Then you have to be that way too. And, you may go for a little while of trying to fool your partner, but eventually everything comes to the surface. And then that person gets disgusted and walks out on you, or goes out and has a good time on their own. And that's when the relationship just breaks down, because the level of commitment is not the same for both people. Okay? So never let your friends get involved. Never let your friends get in the middle of your relationship. Don't tell your friends too much of, private details of your relationship, because Then it becomes a triangle. Now you have another person that knows your business, that's going to judge your partner after you make up. That is, maybe looking at it from a different angle than you're looking at it. Okay? The only time that you should go outside and voice to your friends anything that's really private is if you're in an abusive relationship. Okay? If you are in an abusive relationship, you need that outside support in order to get away from something like that. Okay? You need those outside resources. Or if it's very bad, you need to contact the domestic abuse hotline and get help. Okay? Then you definitely need to reach out to people. I hope that helps you. If it did, please hit the subscribe button and share, and have a great day. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz. I want to tell you about my 2 books that are on Amazon, okay? You can download them free with the trial membership from Kindle. The first book is Regain Your Power. If you're in a relationship and you feel like your partner has all the control in the relationship, maybe you're walking around on eggshells, you're afraid to approach them, it's going to tell you how to regain your power and be happy in the relationship, okay? And what you may be doing wrong, and that's why your partner has all the control in the relationship. The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time. There's a lot of people that are dating someone or in a relationship with somebody who's not really vested in the relationship. And we often are confused as to whether our partner really likes us or is into us or wants a future with us. And this book is going to give you signs and red flags of whether your partner is into you or he's just basically drifting and wasting your time. So go to Amazon and download the Kindle free trial membership. Doesn't cost you anything. And check it out. It may help you. Okay? And have a great day.